Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year. Well, just down here on the property. Hope everybody's doing well out there. And just feeling a bit accomplished. You know, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know if I should feel that way, but I do. I've gotten a lot done. This is the just thinking back on the year in passing. This is the third year, more or less, on the property. The first year, um, a lot was done with the paperwork and getting all that done and all that kind of stuff. And it was wooded. I couldn't even stand in this area. It was so thick with jungle brush, poison ivy, swamp, swampy, and all this kind of stuff. Not swampy, but just thick vines. Vine as big around as my arm, then turned into small trees of poison ivy, poison oak. And getting that all cleared out, it's been a chore. I appreciate the people that had helped me, my son, my brother, uh, my mother a few times, people like that, and just advice from my pops. And all that kind of stuff played a big role in getting it this far done. Both brothers, actually. I had one mainly, but the other one helped out a little bit. And my son, like I said, my pop with all his advice, and my mom came down. But it's just been great. Uh, Now, getting this road cleared out was, I don't know if you can see it, was definitely a chore in itself. I had to buy just equipment. I had no equipment, to a plethora of equipment, and chainsaw. This little Ryobi. I'm no sponsor. This Ryobi chainsaw. I started to go with a steel and a Husqvarna, but this little Ryobi has really been worth its weight in gold. This little Ryobi, for 14-inch Ryobi, it has worked. It has been a workhorse. I mean, it has. I went through 2 bars, numerous blades, chains. This thing has worked flawlessly, and I really, 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 really I'm impressed by this little sucker. Where is it? There it is, right there. You see it? That little sucker can go, man. That's just my personal experience with it. Thought about a Husqvarna, didn't do it. It's kind of the medium range. Steel was just a little bit too pricey for me. But like I said, got a lot done nevertheless. My equipment consists of, let me spin this around if I can. I don't know how. It's a way to spin it around. I don't know how. Guess I'm an idiot today. It's a button on here, but I'm scared to hit it. But anyway, my equipment consisted of a Gorilla cart, a wheeled Gorilla cart. There it is right there. The big version. Not they make a small version, but I got the big version. I got a wheelbarrow. My first thing, and I'm still gonna use that wheelbarrow when I get into some masonry down here and some moving of some block and some brick, because that thing's plastic. You don't want to really. I don't think block and stone. I'm gonna have a lot of cinder blocks down here at some point. And I got a whole bunch of 12 by 12 1-inch pavers stored off site. I got a whole bunch of them. I don't know, 200 of them, and they'll be coming into play soon. But I'm gonna keep that wheelbarrow. I wish I had 2 wheels on the front of it, because that wheelbarrow can really rock your back. So once I seen that wheelbarrow was really stressing my back, that's when I went and got this Gorilla cart, and it's been a world. It's been it's been a wealth back here. Trust me. And I got a rake. I don't know what you call this kind of rake, but a standard rake and I don't know what kind of rake that is. I don't know, but they've worked amazingly, ripping down poison ivy vines and just raking up dead leaves in general, clearing it out. And got some loppers by Fiscus, and I got some hedge clippers by Fiscus. They've worked amazingly, kept their edge. And I got a pitchfork. It's a razorback pitchfork. It's been amazing, scooping up leaves and debris. And being able to put it into that wheelbarrow and haul it off. And fortunately enough, I had this big hill here where I can just dump debris, degrade it. It's gonna go back into the earth, Just dump it over the hill, and I burn some of it to keep from hauling it off. It saves me a ton, trust me. Um, but I'm feeling accomplished. I'm thinking about some of these big logs, like this big tree here. Thinking about making a entryway, because I got several good straight trees that's going to be coming down here, right here. This is the last corner of big trees or straight trees, and I'm gonna take down some of these over here. They'll be coming down, but I thought about making an entryway just as you come in. Two big, I don't know, 15-foot logs, trees basically been cut, and then putting one across the top that might be smaller and maybe hanging a placard up there. I don't know, just something interesting to do. I've seen it on TV and it looks good, Aesthetically, I like aesthetics, I'm not just a brute, Aesthetics are good, and I don't want it to look too out of place. It'll be wood. It's free. Just the labor will come into play. Just an entryway, you know what I mean? I've read a lot about entryways and stuff like that. But anyway, it's just something that's on my mind, a project. But the reason I'm feeling so accomplished is because as I was clearing, it's getting a big dark back here. I hadn't erected the first light. Like I said, I got some solar lights that's gonna go back here soon, real soon. That'll give me a little more time out here. But the reason I'm feeling accomplished is because just the progress that's been made. As I was clearing, I looked back and I'm like, wow, this tree here, this dead tree that I'm gonna cut up here probably tomorrow, it's basically the last barrier separate me from that last run. As you can see, it's a bit open right there. Now, of course, on the sides, it gets a little thick. On either side, then it comes into a complete thickening right there, which, of course, you see a huge tree right in the center of that thickening, right? I don't know if you can see it. It's huge. It's big. It's right there. Right. This tree right here. Huge tree. I won't be going back that far. Anyway, the property goes on back about as far as you can see that way. As far as you can see that way, it goes another length that way. It's just wooded, just all woods, bottomland woods. And I consider myself a conservationist. I'm not going to destroy everything. Plus, that's a lot of work, and I'm not interested in that. That can stay the way it is for the wildlife, the deer, the raccoons, the possums, the red-tailed hawks, the owls, the turtles, the frogs, even the snakes, the chipmunks, the skunks, the foxes. Now, all those critters that I named, and the coyotes, I've seen every last one of them out here except for the coyotes and the foxes. I have not seen those. Oh, and the rabbits. I've seen everything else except for, out of all those I named, the only two I haven't seen are the foxes and the coyotes. I have not heard any yelping. I've not seen any sign of foxes or coyotes. But everything else I named, I've seen it with my own two eyes. Some up close and personal, some from a distance. Like the skunk. He was from a distance. But I saw one just walking through the woods right here, actually. Walk just right across there one evening. And I said, not going to deal with that fella. But like I said, I got plans for once I get this portion cleared out, and when this portion looks like this portion, what I'm going to do is erect a gate, a fence around the perimeter that I will be dealing with. I want to keep the nature out of the space. if you know what I mean. In this space, I got to really push on it and really get the ball going and really get this cleared out for phase two of the weed barrier and the gravel. Be 25 tons dropped. That, I don't know how much I'm gonna need. Probably gonna need 50 tons because that road, of course, that road is really thick. That gravel road, the gravel on it is about 4 inches thick. It's clay gravel, so it packs, and it's pretty thick. I'm not gonna go that thick back here. I'm gonna try to shoot for 3 inch. It kind of, with the moisture bear down, it still needs to be rather thick just because of the nature of this property. It's not a wetland. I want to heard something. It's a bottomland. So even though it's on high ground, it still reminds you of bottomland. It still carries those characteristics of a lowland, even though it's highland. Oddly, you know. But the more trees I cut, the less leaves I'll get. I'm still gonna get a lot of leaves, but they'll be far less. Once I put a perimeter up, the leaves blowing in will stop. So I'll get only the leaves that's falling in the immediate area. That'll cut down on some work, right? And we'll always have fallen trees. Hopefully they don't do too much damage. I'm gonna try to eliminate the usual suspects first. And some trees I won't be able to deal with, and I'll just hope they won't fall. I'll make sure they're not a danger to me personally. And then we're doing this in phases, and that will be the first phase. And this is another deal right here. As you can see, it's a creek right over there. I don't know if you can see it, but right there it's a creek. It runs. It does a weird U-turn and runs back somewhere. I don't know where it goes. But mosquitoes, I don't know what to do about that creek. It's so close. Snakes is so close. I don't know. That explains where the turtles, all the frogs come from. But I knew it was there, but we'll deal with that when we deal with that. There ain't really a lot they can do with it. It looks like a natural creek. But that's feeling accomplished. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. We're gonna keep pushing on and keep the ground rolling. I'm looking at some Florida property. This property is the first of this area. I wanted to deal with multiple properties. The property in Florida, you know, you'd be surprised the deals you can get if you're really looking in the right places. You know, the places that people don't really see as beneficial or easy tend to go dirt cheap. And I found some spots that are relatively inexpensive that I can turn into a great spot, you know, and that's my next plan. But I got to get this one 75% complete before I move on to that phase. I might go ahead and get it if it's a hell of a deal and I want it flat, usable, no flood zones, preferably no flood zones because there's a lot of flood. They sit in a lot of flood zone. They're selling a lot of properties in flood zones down there pretty cheap. And I got to look at the 100-year flood maps and stuff like that. Oh, I'm digging deep, doing some good research. And I'm basing the purchase off of that. But I want at least an acre, no more than 5 acres, not under 1 acre. That's what I'm shooting for in Florida. And then that'll be the next phase before my body is, you know, and hopefully this is year 3, 4. Hopefully this place is completed within 5 years, 4 to 5 years. 5 years, 100%, 4 years, 75%. It's going to really be some speed popping in here real soon because I have a major hurdle behind me. I might need to get some employed help to help speed up the process, and that's on the table too. And down with the Florida property, hopefully it'll go the same as this one. It might take 3 to 5 years to get completely developed. Maybe not. It's not going to be as extensive as this one. It's going to be really simplified. And that's pretty much it. And updates on the van. I would love to get back on the road within the next 3 three to four years. That would be my plan um, with these properties developed and the way I want them. Van has a new motor. It's ready to go. My plans for it is also a 1 ton rear end. I don't know what kind of gas mileage I'm gonna get. It already sucks. But a 1 ton rear end, so I'm busting rear axles in that van. That van down there is a 1 ton. It has a 1 ton rear end. Worst case scenario, and everything's on the table. I take the rear end out of that van, put it in 2500. Take the motor out of that van, just keep it as a spare motor, because it's a good motor, and I'm not gonna get rid of it. Or for the right price, I will. But that's pretty much it. And that van I'm gonna use just to travel, as it's designed for. That's what it's for, and we'll do it like that. All right, man. Y'all have a good New Year's, and peace out.